Hey everybody, this channel is called Wendy's Parade of Perfume and I'm Wendy. On my channel, I just talk about the perfume that is on my shelf, what I've been wearing, what I've been doing, what I've been thinking about perfume-wise. Today I'm just going to do a quick rundown of a perfume that's been on the market for a while and it has been re-released in a new bottle and new packaging, and we're just going to talk about the different notes and the different changes and all that good stuff. So if you would like to know what I think about the original Santal Royal from Guerlain and what you would like and what it's turned into, let me know. Sorry, I made some notes for this one. Kind of flew her to the ground. So this perfume came out in 2014, which, you know, a perfume sticking around for even 10 years, that's veracity these days. This is my actual little small bottle of Santal Royal. This bottle was made in 2017. And at the time that I bought this, I was like, oh, this is nice. This little 15 ml. As you can see, I haven't really worn it that much. But could you imagine if they still did this? I've never really seen these that much. I don't know. I was lucky to even find this, and it was extremely affordable at the time. And could you imagine if they put all their absolutes and allegorias and, you know, lard and materials and whatever in 15 ml sprays? They wouldn't sell anything else because, you know, it would just be a lot more affordable. Anyway, the original Santal Royal is a spicy, oudy, rosy, leathery perfume. And very quickly, the notes for this are, the floral notes are jasmine and neroli and rose. The other notes are peach and cinnamon, amber, agarwood, sandalwood, and leather. The first thing that you will read about on reviews for the original Santal Royal is that there really isn't any sandalwood in it. And I do agree. This perfume is richly spiced. There's a cinnamon, cinnamon is just cut into everything, especially when this opens up. A peachy cinnamon, little tiny nod to Mitsuko, peachy, leathery cinnamon note on top of the rose, which is a rather darkish rose. Sometimes it moves around and it becomes jammy, but it's also like a darkish rose. As this wears down, it becomes very resinous and leathery, and, you know, it smells like there's like a lot of incense going on. I have to admit, I'm not schooled on oud and agarwood. I really can't tell what is fake and what isn't. I see some people say, oh, the oud in here is really good. The Guerlain website says they put oud that they've sourced from Bangladesh in their perfumes. Now, I don't know if they're allowed to just out and out lie. I don't know if they mean they put one drop of this like oud material in with a bunch of synthetics and it's blended. I really have no idea. What the oud in here smells like to me is just like this slightly smoky, slightly leathery, slightly resinous, incensey wood. And it smells really good, along with being like dark and leathery. And yes, I actually agree. While I smell a suggestion of woods in here, this is not particularly sandalwoody. And it sounds like those notes would be really dark, like, you know, it sounds like they would be really dark and really strong. And while the original Santal Royal has a darkness to it, I don't find this to be particularly heavy or cloying or like, oh gosh, I can only wear 2 sprays, or oh, I can only wear like 1 spray and just that's it for the day. I put plenty of this on and I feel like I have a little bit of sillage and I don't feel like it bothers anybody. The other like floral notes, the jasmine and neroli, once in a blue moon, I feel like I can gasp a bit of neroli. I don't really feel like I smell a lot of jasmine in here. But yeah, mostly what this is a dark rose surrounded by leather and incensey, agarwoodish, oudy rose, and spices. You know, the cinnamon is pretty prominent. Kind of wears down once the leather takes over, but yeah. And I do definitely, the peach in here is really nice, and I'm going to talk about that and compare it to the new one in a minute. So this is on its way out. This is the original Santal Royal, and I think, yeah, this one just says Santal Royal. I think this used to be part of like the Les Orients, whatever. I don't know, maybe someone else knows more than I do, but they have moved Santal Royal into the Absolute Allegoria line, which is also where like Patchouli Ardente is, and there's a Flora Bloom in there and things like that. So they're working on this. The funny thing is, I can't even believe these words are going to come out of my mouth because I sound like such a person that I'm not, but this was 15% off at Saks. So that's why I bought this. I did want it, but this is not something I do normally. Even at 15% off, I'm not just like shopping at the Saks all the time. I can't even. Yeah, this came from Fragrance Net back in the day, and this came from the Saks, which I didn't even know we had one in Michigan, but apparently there is one. And I was at the airport recently, and I made a detour. What can I say? What can I say? I'm dedicated to the Guerlain counter. Anyway. The funny thing about this is that I believe this got put into a new bottle last year. This bottle is from 2024, which is fine. But they've already on the Guerlain website have changed the bottle. It's like there is no consistency. I don't know. Do people actually like that? Do people actually like that everything changes every 20 minutes? Perfume is like, it's like, if you went to Starbucks and your coffee was always sourced somewhere else, or I don't know, like, can't you just keep things same for a little bit of time so it can, dedicate a following and, we know what we're getting possibly. I mean, I don't know, maybe they reformulated this year between last year. I mean, the bottle's different. The glass is black, but the label is like also like really black. It doesn't look like this anymore. But anyway, this note list is a little bit shorter. There is jasmine, rose, leather, supposedly Australian sandalwood, according to Guerlain. Again, is that 2 drops? Is it blended? I don't know. And then there's also an oud accord. So blatantly missing are, neroli and peach and cinnamon and amber. And this new version is definitely reformulated, and it's a more streamlined edition of Santal Royal. The biggest difference, and maybe this is good for some people, I really do feel like there's sandalwood in the new one. The old one, I agree. I don't actually think there's any sandalwood in there. This one, though, there does smell like there's actual sandalwood and not just a woody hint of it. And the rose itself, too, it's sweeter. It's more like liquidy. It's not one of those like roses filled with spices and incense and all these like gritty resinous things. It's a smooth rose and it's sweeter. And while I do actually detect some fruit notes like peach, it's more that the peach is coming from the rose. It's like a fruity rose versus there being a distinct like rose note and a distinct peach note. This is a little bit leathery too. Definitely. And the leather and the agarwood notes add a little suggestion of spice, but conspicuously lacking is like, I don't really smell like the cinnamon that I smelled in the original one either. Supposedly there's jasmine in this one too, but I swear to God, I just don't smell any of these other florals. If anyone has ever tried any of the Santal Royals, let me know if you pick up on a bunch of other florals, because I just do not. So yeah, this one is more stripped down and a little bit simpler. In a way, I like both of them equally. I really do. I really like I love a smooth sandalwood scent. I'm just a sucker for these. And this is how this picks up on me. Also with a little bit of leather and a little bit of darkness. And there is some sort of like, dark, woody, oudy, possibly, with like dark wood notes to this that I also like, that adds like a little bit of an incense hit. This is a little bit softer and even lighter also than the original. And so it's going to be a little bit more versatile to wear and a little bit more easier to wear. And I'm not kidding. I actually like both of them equally. I go back and forth. This will probably last me a long time because it only needs a few sprays. This will last me forever. I may wear one during the day and then I'll spray the other one on. I really like both of them. This is really starting to wear well. We're still it's October and it's like 87 degrees out here. It's just ridiculous. So I put this away for the last few days, but once the temperature finally drops, I am going to be wearing this more. But yeah, definite reformulation. And not a bad one. It's not like it's turned into something horrible, but if you prefer like the spices and a little bit more darkness and, just a little bit more going on. I think the original one, which is still available, but it's starting to disappear, is a good bet. But if you want like a smoothed out and more streamlined, a little bit sweeter, a little bit less dark, a little bit less fussy notes. Like not everybody likes incense and leather and all that stuff. I do, but not everybody does. Then the new one would be for you. I was looking to see, now that the review's pretty much over. Let me know if you've ever worn Santal Royal. What do you think of it? Just anything you want. There are just so many the reason also that I bought this from Saks is that I will probably always buy stuff from like FragranceNet, like actual reputable third party gray market sellers. Like I'm not worried about that, but I was just happened to be looking online and the amount of fakes are just unbelievable. It's like these companies like Amazon and Walmart, they do not even care anymore. I saw bottles of this listed on the Walmart website as it was spelled wrong. Guerlain was spelled wrong. The Santal Royal was spelled wrong. Some of the entries were listed as Santal Royal air freshener, and they were $50. And online, you can't tell. If you don't know what you're looking at, the bottles look identical. It's actually spooky. But number one, if it's too good to be true, it probably is. These retail right now for $240. In no world are these going to be sold for $49.99. Byredo Bal d'Afrique is not going to be sold for $39. Diptyque bottles are not going to be $29. Guerlain extraits that are like over $600, they're not going to be $80. And they are all over eBay. They are all over the internet. They are for sale everywhere. And, I have enough of, I've looked at this stuff enough to know like who's selling a fake, but at the same time, I'm not going to trust a completely random eBay seller. There's a couple sellers that I've seen over the years that are either gray market or like resellers, and I know who they are relatively, and I trust that they have a good source, but everybody else, like someone else, not even maliciously, but they could buy this piece of crap that they're selling on Walmart because Walmart has so much money, they don't even care about any authenticity, or Amazon or whoever, and be like, oh my gosh, what is this? I don't like it. But look, I have this niche bottle. I'm going to go sell it for $99, and they don't even know what they have. And then it gets sold and it gets put into the ecosystem because there are so many fakes. It is just, it's just the enshittification of everything. I mean, some of this could be stopped if these big corporations actually cared about what they were putting out. But, I think it's pretty obvious when some seller that is shipping from Hong Kong or China is selling this stuff. I mean, come on. That's where all the fakes come from. I actually did I had to take a business class in college, and I'm obviously not a business major, but I had to pick a report to, it's like not a thesis, but anyway, I had to do a research paper on, and this is what I picked basically, was like intellectual property and, fakes and just all, the US outsourcing all of their manufacturing and like how that's coming back, to bite us in the butt sometimes, not for everything, but for some things. And, we live in a global economy that's been going on for hundreds of years, if not thousands, but, and this was literally, I was in college 15 years ago, so I can only imagine the levels that have come. So I don't know. I would actually rather these days, like I said, of course I'm going to buy from FragranceNet, like that's going to happen, but I'm not looking, I'm not always just looking for a deal. Sometimes if I know that I want something, I'll rather just wait for a coupon and know I'm getting the real thing, know it was saved properly. Even this other perfume I was looking at, I don't think it was fake or anything, but like it didn't have a box, and I looked up the barcode and it was from 2018. And that is actually fine with me. I love vintages, but I was kind of looking at it and I was like, I don't know where this has been sitting for the last 9 years. It's been sitting in a warehouse. Has it been in a shipping container somewhere? Like, I don't know. I mean, these are a product that you do want them to be handled in a certain way and temperature controlled, and you want them taken care of properly because you're spending your hard cash on it. And I would actually spend a little bit more. I'd rather spend a little bit more to know that I'm getting an authentic product, that I'm not giving money to scammers, and that the perfume itself, even if it's authentic, was taken care of properly. So anywho, that's my little rant about fakes. It's just getting like the level of fakes is just absolutely insane. Like I can't. And that's all I have to say about that. But anyway, I just wanted to get on and chit chat. Again, work has been killing me. It's gonna hopefully get better in the next couple of weeks. And I am in my head, like I said, I'm really working on another perfume list that I would like to be able to put out within the next week or two. And if you guys have actually anything that you would like for me to talk about, or a certain note you would like me to try and go over as best as I can, I would be happy to oblige. And I hope you all are having a great day, and I'll see you guys next time. Thank you for being here with me. Bye bye.